What's up, everybody? I'm gonna have some late night thoughts for you all. Really good late night thoughts. Not even good, just thoughts. Uh, this might even just be. What's up, Snowman? What's up, what's up, Lewis? You know, it's funny. I think tonight I'm gonna do a ramble slash rant, and it's real good, real good. Some things are on your mind, while others can be on your heart. Don't forget to subscribe to Lewis's new channel, The Beige Rager. True comedy right there. You know, I'm going to say this as a man, as an American, as a black man, especially. The grace you give other people, you'll probably never get that in return. You won't even get a tenth of the grace and forgiveness you give people. All the hey big heads, they're coming out. All of the all of the all of the grace and shit that you give people, the forgiveness, the understanding. When you piss people off, I judge it as a show of character. Not if you can forgive, not if you can forgive people, but are you willing to forgive people? When you've done someone wrong and you're begging them, show me how to love you. Thank you for being patient with me. Give me another chance. When you have committed trespasses, you know, transgressions against them, why do they get to be all this elated and illiquid shit? Oh, that's very prominent in the black community, by the way. I'm not saying purposely, you know, do anything mysterious or wrong to someone, but I would judge them accordingly when you're giving them grace and patience and they do not react this, reciprocate the same. Because reciprocity is needed for any relationship, whether romantic, familial, occupational. Everybody's not going to be up. Everybody wants you to be the Superman. We're going to look at you as lesser than, but we're going to hold you to greater. You should be above reproach. You should never have a time when you're upset or angry, even if I provoke you over and over and over again. You should be calm, cool, relaxing. And guess what happens? When you make them upset, they can be hurt. When they are upset, the world has to stop what it's doing, have the comprehension of a God, and literally make amends. What olive branch has been bestowed upon you when you were the one whose sins were committed against? You are supposed to be forgiving, while everybody else is supposed to be forgiven. You're never supposed to have a bad day. Okay? You're never supposed to be the perfect will of God. You're supposed to be the lamb used for holy sacrifice. And I honestly says, fuck that. Why can't we ever do what's good for the goose is good for the gander? Excuse me. I really had to come to grips. The world doesn't work for you. It shows you what it is supposed to be and what it really is very quickly. That person can be drunk or upset. It's an excuse for them, but not for thee. I want you to realize that forgiveness is a bottleneck that is originally supposed to take you out of your self pity prison. You're supposed to release that anger into the universe before it consumes you. Because now, when you tell a person how much you love and convince them, That person said they love you, but they can't find it in their heart to forgive you. I always wonder that. If you really love me, you would keep my commandments. This is the reason why that whole shit about being a leader in our community is bullshit. If you really respected your men as leaders, you wouldn't be so wayward. You would automatically give your sons to the fathers. I want you to remember it's okay for everybody else to be weak, drunk, out their mind, a lapse in judgment, a moment of weakness. But that's Superman. You got to stay strong no matter what. You have to be the Rock of Gibraltar. You have to be unshakable, infallible, incredible, stupendous, superior, not only in your action, but also in your judgment. Now, you're right, ABA. Happy wife, happy life. What about happy husband? Happy wife, happy wife, happy life. What about, God, good man is God's plan. I am 100% convinced that there's no saving this shit. And when I mean this shit, I mean the planet will fall. See, I don't knock passport bros. Go where you want to go, but don't go somewhere and be a simp for people who treat you better. Be just as restrictive as you would for any American broad. Be as wise and careful. You know, you can never have a bad day. You can never have a lapse in judgment or weakness. You got to be greater than, better than, and everything else. I want you to realize that people don't bend over backwards for you. There's no respect for you. So get that shit out of your fucking head. There's no remembrance of, oh, I remember when you forgave me when I really fucked up. That doesn't come in anybody's head because they're selfish. They're selfish as fuck. People do not fucking care about you unless it's something to their medium, to their bottom line needing of you. If you provide a service, a strength, an outcome for somebody, that's the only time you're valuable. Okay, folks? Only time. And I'm sorry. A lot of men can't deal with that revelation. I hate to tell you this, but the mindset of these broads, the mindset is truly mindset is truly anything will do. So don't you think you special in that bitch eyes? Hell, I ain't even gotta talk about females. I could talk about some of your friends. How many of you can have a generally good, positive conversation with your friends without them, one, needing or trying to get something out of you? Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the reprieve. It's all about you. No matter how much you try to brighten up people's day, no matter how much you try to be considerate of others, there's always something wrong with you. I want you to realize this. Whatever you're going through right now, there's very few times you're not going to have to deal with that shit with alone. Sometimes you have to realize you're alone because nobody's going to forgive you. Not too many people, if anybody's going to save you, you're going to have to figure this shit out on your own. You can be naive, but you got to always be on alert. They can be a fucking drunk. They can be the wildest person in the world, but you say something about it, you're wrong. Black men, stop being afraid to fucking judge. Listen to your fucking gut. If it doesn't seem right, get the fuck out of there. Seriously. Seriously. You're gonna go through it trying to make money, trying to please people. Now, how many people are gonna do the same for you? How many people are gonna break their neck and break their back for you? This is the failures of us as people to know there's gonna be some hard days. That's if I'm even doing them like tonight. It is shameful not to have your sons and daughters prepared for a difficult world and a difficult life. You're going to go through it alone. See, to be quite honest, there's a reason why they get married because these bitches ain't wives. There's a reason why I've avoided a lot of stupidity that most people in my age bracket from 35 to 45 have committed. Have I had some pitfalls? Of course. Not as horrible as them. Why would I get married just to get out of it? It makes no sense to me. If you don't have the mindset of, okay, this is where I'm going to stay, this is who I'm going to be with, why do it? Just so you can have, put the notch off your belt. I was married. No, I think some people fail. They plan to fail because they just fail to plan. It's no different than people talking about the stamps and shit. You thought this ride was going to be forever? And you're right, because they want to help with the bills. This shit. What's the point of being in a goddamn relationship if you're fucking miserable? What's the point? Why, wasn't it the women in our community that said I could do bad all by myself? But nobody ever answered, who can you be great with? With whom can you do great? Can you pronounce greatness? You need help with all this shit. You created, you had babies by Nifnons. You relied on the system. I mean, think about it. Even those bitches who bragged about being in the federal government, you have not been paid in 2 pay cycles. I want you to realize this. You haven't been paid in 2 pay cycles. Next month, food stamps are pretty much done unless you're physically disabled or mentally disabled, a veteran, or anything like that. You're done. And if you have a child under 5, you may luck out. But after 5, you're on your own. The government is going to make it real burdenous for you to have children just waywardly. They want you to build families. They can force you to build families because you're going to find a decent man anytime you need help, right? The sympathon is on. No, hell no. Women don't want our leadership. They just want us to fucking take the blame. They want to put you out there to say you failed as leaders. Wait a minute. You get the benefits, you get the education, you get all this shit, but you can't produce good children. I want you to look at this. You were never supposed to be here. You were never supposed to be a winner. You were supposed to be gone the way of the dodo. I'm gonna tell you something about this. I'm starting to think a lot of modern women, you just choosing a lot of agony. Black women just specialize in it. You can never truly have fun and enjoy yourself because I'm going to tell you something personal about me. I do not really like talking to 95% of women I meet. I don't. I can't have conversations above the first level with 95% of women I meet. No, excuse me, 98%. You're too emotional. You're too in your feelings. You're too gullible. I've had chicks talk about the only person they can rely on is their ex husband and baby daddies. Go back to the nigga. Why'd you leave him? Or did they leave you? Nobody gives a fuck about gay babe. I surely don't. I surely don't give a fuck about that clown. This is a clown free area. Fuck them. I'm tired of listening to people talk about ADOS and they've never been ADOS. You're a guy who don't want to admit that you were a fucking nerd. You were a fucking nobody in high school and college. You lucked up with a career. You lucked up. You had to go back home to get a what? Nobody gives a fuck about you, my nigga. I don't even want to mention the motherfucker. That's the problem. Men have gotten too gossipy instead of fucking carrying on with their fucking purpose. Fuck them. That's all it is. Fuck them. A lot of people don't even have the wherewithal to say, what is my purpose? Can you find, black man, your purpose without a fucking woman? Can you find your purpose without a goddamn woman? And that tells me a lot about a nigga if they need a fucking skirt to tell them what to do. It really does. Well, you said I should love my wife. Yeah, you should love your wife. But I'm gonna be honest with a lot of people. You can't be all the way in the way relationships are. Because so many bitches are just natural opportunists. What has a bitch done that where she had to spend money, make a great effort, cook a large meal? What has she done that really says you should be loyal to her? You should be all into her. If she hasn't saved your life or added value to your life, why am I speaking to you? A lot of you dudes, you need to be 80 to 90% in and keep a 10% on the low. You should have money gathered up on the low. Because guess what she's going to do? She's going to make a rainy day fund and she's going to gather enough money so she will figure out a way to leave your ass. And she will happily do it without a fucking moment's notice. Stop thinking they're on your side. They're not. Many of them are not on your side. If you got a good one, stay with them because you ain't finding shit else. It is hard for me to look at most females without something sexual. I'm not getting great conversation, great advice. It's very rare I get good advice from women. Very rare. A couple of my partners gave me good advice. I said, I don't even use the advice. I never asked my mother about women because even she goes into that phony diatribe. It's kind of hard to take advice from a woman who's formerly married and you never remarried. You had a bunch of in and out relationships. You were with somebody for a year or so, or two, maybe three at the most, 6 months at the least. Boom. But my father been with the same goddamn woman for 30 years and married her. At some point, who's done it right and who's done it wrong? And that's how I look at my parents at times. My father's far from perfect. My mother's not all bad, but we gotta be fucking honest about some shit. It's a goddamn shame. Majority of the fucking broads in this world will never even be married. You're not worth it. You're not worth it. You, you truly are not worth it. It's not black men who are ruining your reputations. It's you. And the sad part about it is other race of women are continuing the cycle. Well, the men don't want to take us out on dates. Of course not. Because dating don't benefit us. Right. Oh, you can't you can't force us to get in a relationship to get pussy. In the last 3 days, sorry, the last 24 hours, I had over 3 to 4 big heads in one form of another. These are women who are in their late 30s to mid 40s. My advice to you men is to get the fuck off your ass. The best way to get on your feet is to get the fuck off your ass. You should be working out. You should buy. If you motherfuckers, I'm gonna look at you funny as a grown man and you don't have some form of weight set or exercise equipment in your house. I'm gonna look at you funny. I think you should look at yourself funny as hell too. You should be working out. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what your condition is. You can do some form of, even if you got to twiddle your thumbs, even if you got to walk, even if you got to take a book bag and fill it with some rocks or some books. Start curling, start pressing that shit. Start walking with it. You should get your body right, not for any bitch, but for your own health and wealth. A bitch is a byproduct of what you look like and what you can afford. Okay? Next, you should become more worldly. There should be a book list either through Amazon, Barnes and Noble, even Audible. You should be reading and listening to some books and get some goddamn knowledge in your head, becoming a much more knowledgeable, intelligent, worldly man. Bitches say they like a smart guy. Remember, the bitches are a byproduct of you being knowledgeable. They're not the end goal. No woman, I don't give a fuck if it was my wife. You, whatever you're attracted to, is not. You're not the end goal of. You can't be, because if that actually happens, I lose. If I put my faith into you as a woman, I lose. And for all you motherfuckers who like YouTube, if you can't sew, iron, and do something, cook, and you're not studying, if you're only on this fucking YouTube platform and you can't cook, I'm gonna slap the fucking Sephora off your face and you're not even wearing makeup. Learn a new skill every goddamn 2 weeks. Learn a new skill. Learn to sew. Learn to iron, because some of you motherfuckers can't iron for shit. Learn something different. Learn to make yourself a better man. Learn something every 2 weeks. Like, take 2 weeks when you come home. Take about half an hour to an hour and study that new skill. Get your emotions right. Learn deep breathing exercises. Learn to sip your cognac or your wine. Don't gulp it, because you'll become a drunk. Learn to control your vices and not let your vices control you, even if it's women. Learn to have a bit of stoicism about you. Fall back. Learn to fall back. Now, here's the spiritual part. Whatever your religious belief is, that's up to you. If you don't have one, focus on meditation. You should take moments, even at work. Take a break, go outside, look at the sky, take some breathing exercises for 15 minutes. and just relax. Unburden yourself with the stresses of the world. Sometimes the world needs to see what happens when Superman's not around. You don't have to save everybody. It's not your job. I want you to really take that time to deep breathe, meditate, bring your stress levels down, bring your blood pressure down. Make sure you are the primary responsibility of your life. Even your kids have to play second to you. You know why? Because if you're not right, you can't help two, three, four, and five. You are no good to your children if you're a wreck, if you're an unhealthy, stressed out, emotional, unaligned, spiritual mess. 36-year-old star. I want you to think about that. You need to prioritize you. People don't respect you. Sometimes I'll do little things. Sometimes also when I'm talking to a female, I'll send flowers to her house just to test her. Sometimes it's because it's a nice gesture. Sometimes I'm testing your ass to see what you're gonna do. Because a lot of people don't understand gratitude, having gratitude, or being genuine, or any gratification, being thoughtful. Thank you for thinking about me. Thank you for brightening my day. No, you just want to be a selfish bitch who you want men to just worship. When you wash the dishes in the sink because somebody invited you for lunch or dinner, when people are like, "Wow, I didn't know you washed." No, that's me showing gratitude. You cooked, so I washed the dishes. No biggie. Why is it that when men do something out of the kindness of their heart, it's not a big deal? It's not a big deal. But when a woman does something sort of nice, thank you. And a lot of times, if a woman can only give you back pussy for which you had to spend money or build with your bare hands, don't take that pussy unless you really, really have to. But if she's not doing something that's laborious, if she's not doing something that's laborious, task oriented, like cooking a large meal, quilting you a blanket, knitting a blanket or a quilt, planning a nice a nice evening, doing any preparation. Why are you dealing with it? All she got is to give you some reward is pussy. She was gonna give you that for free. She was gonna give you that for free. That's all the fuck you were gonna get. She was gonna give you that same piece of pussy. Sorry about that. Yep, like I was saying, she was gonna give you that pussy for free. What labor did she produce? What task does she have to come with? Got cut off for a second. What task does she come up with? Did she bake a cake? Did she make something spectacular? I mean, what effort do you really have for your women? What standard do you have for them? Do you even say, I will not date a woman who can't cook? I want you fellas to really get to know this shit. I want y'all to really get to know this shit. Because right now, I think we let women way too easy off the hook. Save it off. What about Shorty from North Carolina? At least she came up, drove up here twice. That's a labor. It's 4 hours of straight driving, 4.5 hours of straight driving. That's laborious. Don't be that nigga that wallow in obsolescence. Hell, some of you, even though I'm guilty of this too, make up your fucking bed. Have small victories in your day. Small victories count. Small victories, man. Each one of us needs small fucking victories. I'm going on a road trip this week. I'm gonna be fly to death. I'm gonna be fresh to death. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy my fucking self in ways I never thought I could. If I do it by myself, if I do it with people who know me, or if I find new fucking friends. I'm going to enjoy this short, tiny vacation for myself. I need the instant, not even instant, but the actual way to sit still and enjoy yourself as a goddamn human being. And even as a man, always be quick to try to get someone's forgiveness and apologize, but always be slow in your thinking. Because if that person can't reciprocate that type of shit, you already know what it's on. I understand people hurt differently, but you got to understand, does that person still take your feelings in consideration? If they don't, leave that situation immediately. Leave that situation immediately. I need all you niggas to go get some Planet Fitness up in your system. I need y'all to get some Planet Fitness in your system. Get a membership and go. When there's a night you ain't got shit to do, go. When you got more daytime schedules that are freeing up, go. Invest into you. Invest into you first, man. If you listen to me, get your body right, get your mind right, get your money right, get your soul right, and everything will be all right. As black men, we got to really realize this. I can't handle somebody else's failures. I'd rather be a victim of my own success than the hero of somebody else's failure. I'd rather be the victim of my own success than the hero of somebody else's failure. Sorry. Sorry. Sometimes people are going to hate on you because you're that good. You goddamn right. Protect your life force. I want every black man listening to the sound of my voice work out, read intellectual books or magazines, or listen to audibles. Invest in your fucking money management and health. Get your STD, your cholesterol, your blood pressure, and your testosterone checked. I want you to invest into your spirituality. I never said you got to pick a religion. If you choose not to, don't. But I'll say one thing: clear your mind. Be able to meditate at least for 15 to 20 minutes per day. Sometimes in the morning, sometimes do it twice a day. 15 minutes to yourself in the morning, afternoon, and at night. Protect your soul and protect your life force. Start out with little victories. Well, well, also Faulkner, well, Sergeant Faulkner, we don't know how to work out. You have this goddamn secret computer in your hand. You got millions of fucking hours of workout material in this shit. If you personally want me to give it to you, you need to fucking email me. And depending on who you are, some of you might have to compensate me. Shit. You don't have to start up with the 60s like I do. Took me years to get to there. Start small, but think big. I don't give a fuck if you can only lift 15-pound dumbbells. At least you had a starting point. I could look at a 450, 600-pound person on a couch, but the 600-pound person in the gym is better than him because he's making the first step to a better life. You don't make fun of the person trying. You encourage them. You become their rock, their foundation. That's a person you could work with. The person who at least will try. And nobody hears me though. Nobody hears me. If I'm talking about some gynocracy shit, I'll have 200 fucking live viewers. This is how you know I'm shadow banned. How the fuck do I have 6,000 people? I should at least have 200 to 300, even at this time. So every cigarette, liquor you should have, you should put 3 times as much time into working out. You should stretch. You should get your muscles. You should actually take time to develop some goddamn skills. But what are you afraid of? But what are you afraid of? Well, we're not sure where we need to go. At least try. At least try. At least try to be better. Try to make it like this. Try to be an asset to the people you're networking with. Always keep a hobby as well. Never let abroad be your main focus. You give her a chance, you say, what are we? If we ain't serious, okay, we'll have our fun, and then I'll see you when I see you. Go ahead. Don't act like you're my only option either. I think every man should do that from now on. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you're dating. I don't care if you're single. You never act like that woman was your only option because she'll treat you like it in some way or fashion. But let me get out of here. I've talked for an hour now. Oh, peace.
Woo!